Take that spare off. We'll get that little notch. Got this notch under here in that area of the frame that's made for the jack itself. Go ahead and get that into place. So I'm twisting this to bring that up, going clockwise, and I want to get it centered up. And since this is on an incline, I'm going to go ahead and block the back tire. But just in case it tries to roll, it can't roll over that block. All right, emergency brakes on. We're going to hook that in there. Take this, and we'll hold on to this one and rotate it. So now I've got that into place. I'm going to go ahead and make sure these are broke free. Make sure those are loose enough so that when we get it jacked up, we didn't put them on tight when we put the spare on because we weren't going to drive anywhere. But if you were to drive with that spare, you'd want them as snug as you'd want a regular tire. So you don't want to go too high, but you want to go high enough that you have clearance to put the new tire on, because it may be a little bit larger than this spare. Not soft. Still pretty tight. I'm going to leave one of these top ones on and then take the other ones off from the bottom first. You'll want to put those in somewhere where you don't lose them. Kick them around. Now this last one here, you may have to position this so that you can get it undone, because with those other ones off, it's going to kind of change the angle and bind that nut up. So get it into a position where that won't happen. Take that off. You can just slide that off. Let's see if that's going to be the right height. So just like we put the spare on, we're going to start with those upper two bolts. Slide that into place. Then we'll get our nuts and tighten them down. We'll put the top ones on first, run those down, and we kind of position that in to put these other ones on. All right, those are on, so now we're just going to give it a little bit of turn. We're not going to tighten them all the way down, but enough so that when we take it off the jack, it won't put any stress on those. It won't be able to move around. All right, now we're going to lower it down. All right, now it should clear that. We can bring that out, and then we can tighten this, or not tighten. Now we can lower that down by hand so it'll fit back into our jack stand. So go in here, and then you can actually, if you want, tighten that down some, just like you were jacking it back up, so it won't move around. And this one will go here. We can go ahead and put that away. Now we need to tighten these down, and then we'll put the other wrench in. Star pattern. Don't over tighten. Try to just do it hand tight or arm tight. What I mean by that is don't get over here and then stomp on that. Like you might have to do sometimes to get these loose. You may have to, depending on where these were put on. If they were put on by an impact wrench, you may have to loosen them that way, but don't tighten it that way. Get out here at the end of the bar and pull up. So I'm going across, so now I'll do these. Go ahead and do that one, and then I'll go all the way around. Just give them a little tug, not much, don't over tighten. sure all of those are snug. So your hubcap, before you put it on, has a place where it should fit around that stem. Get it centered up and then just press it in. Don't hammer it in. Should be able to press these in by hand. And that'll allow you to still get to the valve stem. So that tells you where to start at. Because if that is at a weird angle and you hammer it in, a lot of times you'll crack these. Yeah, that feels good. I don't feel really any space between the hubcap and the rim. So now we'll go ahead and put the wrench back in its place where it goes in the container. You should have everything. You got a funnel here, you got the jack, you've got a piece that goes along, it fits into the jack that you can rotate, and then this you'll use to loosen up your lug nuts. All right, let's go ahead, place this down. This will just be the reverse process to take it out. Cinch that down. You want the highest side facing you, and that fits in there, and you just screw that down. That prevents that spare from moving around underneath here. Then once you have that in place, the Civic, a little hole on the bottom of this that needs to fit right there on top of that thing that you just screwed down. So there's a little handle here. You can see where your fingers go on the far right side or the passenger side of the car. There's not enough space in there for me to put your toolkit. So I'm just going to place it there. Make sure you remove your block so you don't drive over it. That's why I only use one.